Hey everybody, Jason here of Ghostbusters News, and recently here on the YouTube channel, we took a look at this, a soon-to-be screen-used stunt ghost trap. Now if you missed that video, let me give you a quick overview, as this ghost trap will be seen this coming fall on an episode of Peyton's Places, the well-known ESPN Plus show. And as documented, this Ghostbusters-themed episode is going to see NFL legends Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Jerome Bettis all dress up as Ghostbusters. Now, all the equipment that will be seen in that episode was made by Ghostbusters prop builder Rhett Martin. And speaking of Martin, he's a pretty talented guy, because in addition to recreating all the proton packs, the equipment, the gear seen in the films, he also makes Ghostbusters paper props. And these paper props, they recreate magazine covers, newspaper covers, the photos the Ghostbusters took of Vigo the Carpathian. And I just received these in the mail, and let me tell you, they are all frame-worthy. They look fantastic. Now I thought today I would give you a bit of an overview of these Ghostbusters paper props, but a quick heads up, at any time during this video, if you want to grab a set of these for yourself, we got a link down below in the description. Click it and find out how you can buy your very own. Now first, let's go ahead and take a look at probably one of my favorites. This is a recreation of the Atlantic cover. Of course, seen in the montage from the original 1984 Ghostbusters. I mean, it goes without saying, a lot of these newspaper covers, magazine covers, they do stem from that montage. In this illustration, it was hand redrawn and then painted and then scanned by Rhett Martin himself. And I don't know about you, but to me, this looks near perfect to what we saw in the film. After that, we've got the Time magazine cover with the headline, Ghostbusters Supernatural Success Story. This great image here, Peter, Ray, and Egon, or Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Harold Ramis. And when it comes to these paper props, Rhett, he has offered these before. However, let's go ahead and bring up a comparison here of one of his previous offerings of this Time magazine cover to the one you can now currently buy. Like, just look how sharper this one is. No doubt making it the best version ever offered. Oh, and before I stop talking about this Time magazine cover, on the top right-hand side, I do want to point out that is Michael C. Gross. Associate producer on Ghostbusters, executive producer on The Real Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2, as well creator of the Ghostbusters logo. Now this one is rather eye-catching. We've got the Omni cover with the proton pack and the headline, Quantum Leaps, Ghostbusters Tools of the Trade. And what's really neat about this one is it's a direct scan from the original prop. It's also been restored, cleaned up just a little bit, and in addition to that Time magazine cover, likely the one I'm most looking forward to getting up here on the wall framed in the collection room. From there, we've got the globe with Ghostbusters Super Diet. And this one last week we highlighted on the Ghostbusters News social media pages, and you guys, you ate it up, talking about what would be included in a Ghostbusters Super Diet, with the general consensus being Crunch Bars, Cheez-Its, probably some Chinese food, and a lot of Twinkies. Taking a look at another newspaper, we've got the New York Post, with this one including the headline, Ghost Cops Bust Chinatown Spook. Now this is another update to what Rhett was featuring beforehand. There's new images, color adjustments here, also improved text, and this is likely the best and most accurate recreation to date. Now I've always loved that the image they use here, it is taken from the ending of the film. You know, when all four Ghostbusters, they wind up crossing the streams? Considering this newspaper is seen halfway through the movie, once again in the montage, having this photo exist then, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And in our final newspaper, at least from the first Ghostbusters, we've got USA Today. Ghost fever, it is gripping New York. And Rhett, he tells me when it comes to this release compared to the previous one, it is a pretty good overhaul, featuring new images, text, color improvements, and new scans from the Ghostbusters art book. Oh, I really haven't actually talked about this, but I should also mention that all the newspaper recreations, they include this simulated newsprint design, which when framed will certainly help sell this as an actual newspaper, rather than just an image printed on some high quality paper. Now the last offering from the first Ghostbusters film is this Firehouse print, and it was taken from the LA County Fire Archives. And if you don't recall where this was seen in the film, well, it's in Dr. Venkman's office. Now that's all the paper props from the first Ghostbusters movie, but there's also a ton from Ghostbusters 2. And a lot of these, they weren't used like in a montage or anything like that. They were pretty much just set dressing appearing rather blurry in the background of some of the shots. And first up, we've got this cover of the Star, which is actually scanned from the prop that's on display at Sony. Much like that Omni cover, it's been cleaned and adjusted, you know, for printing to make sure everything looks prim and proper. This right here, it is pretty much a perfect recreation with the headline, Ghostbusters Save Judge. Keeping with the newspaper trend, we have another New York Post, also including a headline article about the Ghostbusters saving the judge. And this one has been brought back to life using archival photos. And much like the other newspapers, this one does have that simulated newsprint. Hey, did you know the Ghostbusters appeared on the cover of Life magazine? Well, apparently they did in the Ghostbusters 2 universe, as this one was scanned directly from the production-made prop. It was sourced by Earl Hayes Press, and it was modified just a little bit to kind of respect the heritage. And you'll see on the top right-hand side, the article was called A Day in the Life of a Ghostbuster, and if this was a magazine, inside you would find a 4-page pictorial. Now this one here is likely one of my favorites out of all the prints. We've got the Ghostbusters 2 Time magazine cover. Much like a lot of the other offerings, this has been scanned from the production-made prop, then just slightly cleaned up a bit. On the cover, you're going to see the Ghostbusters, Egon, Ray, Peter, and Winston all wearing their Santa's hats. In Time, they've got an exclusive article here that's called Look Out New York, They're Back. And then our final magazine cover, we've got Motor Trend, the world's automotive authority. And this one here, it is all about the Ecto-1 and Ecto-1A. And this paper prop is from photos of the actual one used, with some modifications featuring updated, sharper graphics. Now that is all the magazine and newspaper prints, but you know what? There's one more thing left to show you, and I think I saved the best for last. Here, we've got photos of the Vigo the Carpathian painting. There are 5 in total, and I'm going to show you all of them right here. But these are screen-used copies, meaning that you cannot get any better than these. Unless, of course, you can find the actual legit prop seen in Ghostbusters 2. And these photos, this is something I've always wanted to add into my collection. This scene from Ghostbusters 2 where all the photos go up in flame. Egon and Ray, they're trying to get out of the photo lab, only to have Winston bust in and save the day with the fire extinguisher. It is one of my favorite moments from Ghostbusters 2. And the imagery here, seeing Vigo kind of change from what we see typically in the painting, to this, the big kind of demonic looking head, with the river of slime underneath. I love it so much, and once again, I am so ecstatic to add this into my collection. So Ghostbuster fans, if you'd like to add these very unique offerings to your very own collection, as I already mentioned, we got a link down below in the description telling you how to do so. That's all I've got for you here right now. As always, be sure to subscribe to Ghostbusters News here on YouTube. Bust that bell notification icon to stay up to date with everything that's happening within the Ghostbusters world. If you'd like to join up with Ghostbusters News, check out our Patreon page. We have a link to that down below in the description, and I'll see everybody right back here next time.